On this episode of The Sarah Jane Show, I'm talking to my dear, dear friend and holistic fitness coach, Sudipta Mondal. She takes me through her journey from an abusive marriage to becoming a successful fitness coach, a journey of looking within, going back to her roots, finding her independence, and viewing fitness through a holistic lens. At the heart of this conversation is power and how she reclaimed hers. So I wanted to talk to you, Sudipta, because I find you insanely inspiring, and you know this. And I know the story of your life, and I know firsthand how you went from a situation where you had the power kind of taken out of your hands. And there were many decisions that got made and many things that happened to you that were out of your control. And it is amazing how you took what you were going through and literally turned it on its head, and you found a way to regain your power. And you talk about the power that exists within each one of us. And that's what I really want to talk to you about today. So, in
Okay.
order for us to talk about that today, we have to go back to the beginning. So, can you give me like an idea of what led up to the marriage? What took you? Where were you? What were you doing? How?
Yeah, yeah.
Why did you get married? And what was the whole reason behind it?
So I was working as a professional performing artist in a
Mm-hmm.
Sharmak Dawat's troupe in a play called Zangura at Kingdom of Dreams in Gurgaon. And with that glamour life and a lot of exposure, I was very happy with the financial status. But mentally and emotionally, I was seeking for a companionship who could also, fulfill me um, in different role. So that was the reason why I got married. There was nothing, no pressure as such from any end. So I got married in 2014 when I was ending my job with Kingdom of Dreams as an artist, and I shifted to Bombay in 2015. When I got married, I was very clear in my head that I will still be ambitious and I will, achieve my goals of doing good, adding value to whichever field I'm working in. I was very clear in my head, and I made that clear for my, ex-in-laws and ex-husband as well. And it was very clearly in place. Everything was in place. Obviously, when I now see it, I can see that we all, as a family, got subtle hints, but we kind of ignored it because of social conditioning. As simple as, my ex-husband talking about girls should be in the kitchen for more time, and like I am in the, and he's still in the field of uh, um, modeling, branding, clothes. So, and he was a NIFT pass out. So I knew that he was creative in his field, and hence I chose him through a matrimonial site, of course. And it was arranged, and everything was in place. And I dated him for 11, 12 months, so almost a year, to be able to understand how is the compatibility going on. And I came here in Bombay to stay with him for a month. And in that 1 month also, I studied yoga. I gave my own, savings into it. And I studied yoga so that I can come here and kind of shift my profession into movement, but different regime. So I knew in my head that I will always be a mover, be it through dance, be it through yoga or any fitness regime. So, but of course, when I stayed in that 1 month, it was a very chaotic scene at my place, at his place, that, this is too, modern urbanization, that, you're staying with your fiance before marriage and all. So that time kind of my husband supported me, saying that, we are okay with this, and, it's okay. We are engaged. So everything is okay. But as eventually the marriage dates came closer, I saw that there was very like subtle signs from
Mm-hmm.
the universe, I would say, or from the other end, that they are not being very polite, or they are kind of creating some scene out of how much gold we are giving in my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas there was no dowry and nothing else. So but then, conversation started changing into little bitter, discussions, that, you should give your daughter this, that, and all. So
Mm-hmm.
it was taking a very bitter turn. But since the cards were distributed and everything, was falling in place with along with the dates, And I was seeking for a companionship, and I thought this is a part and parcel of a relationship, ups and downs and misunderstanding and miscommunication. So I was like, let me stick to my husband. If I and he are on the same page, it will be fine. And we
Mm-hmm.
were, of course. So that's why then I got married. And on the same marriage day, they demanded for something like, what are you wearing? How much gold are you carrying with you to us, like, with us in Bhopal. So in your sasural, basically.
Oh
So that
gosh.
was one thing which hit me really hard, and I got shocked. And my mom asked me, "Do you still? I know you're married, and you're just about to leave us, but still, I'm asking you, are you ready? Are you willing to go to this family?" And out of sheer love and social conditioning, I would say, not for social conditioning, not of my parents, but of how I saw a marriage like. So I went, in the flow. And I was like, no, I know my husband is good, so he will take care of everything. And that's how I got married. I went to, for reception and all. And then we came to Bombay. And within few weeks, I could see that it's some, of course everything is new, so it should take time to adapt everything, but still I could feel that vibe is not very positive. Like, as simple as, like, as soon as I came, I started working, I started earning, and out of my own things. Like, I didn't take money as such, but I used to, whatever savings I had, I started taking Zumba classes. So when I used
Mm-hmm.
to go for Zumba classes, my mother-in-law passed me some comments like, "Jhola pen ke ja rahi ho, why you're wearing such clothes?" And
Mm.
so the thing which they saw me prior my marriage, they came to see my show where I was wearing a bikini, and a choli, like the costume basically, and I
Mm-hmm.
was dancing with a partner on stage. They respected it so much, that you're so professional, you are looking good, your physique is good, and you're presentable, and you're working in a glamour industry. We are so proud of you. And the same thing kind of like took a 360
Changed.
degree
Yeah.
turn, changed
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
completely,
Yeah.
just for a Zumba class. Then I got a lot of terms and condition and restriction on me, that you should not train gents. You have to train only ladies. You have to go to
Oh.
school. And so
And
these
all of
all
this started only after you got
only
married.
after I got married. Yeah, nothing before that. And then, see, whenever your partner is supportive, you can still handle parents' issue, because of course everybody's culture and age is different, and their conditioning is different. Their journey of life or career or even as a marriage, they see it differently. Our parents see it differently, and they have
Mm-hmm.
handled it differently.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was looking up to my partner who could actually support me in my journey, with him. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to grow with him, but then
Mm-hmm.
it turned little, it turned really ugly by the, after within 6 months, I got to know he has an affair,
Oh God.
with his intern. I got to know that, he is not very interested in, taking me to honeymoon, or maybe letting me work, do a job. And still he could, like, there were so many incidents where I feel uh, very sad about it, that why can't a person understand that if a girl has gone to some new place, let her also take time to adapt, and
And
give her
adjust.
some
Yeah.
time and adjust and everything. So I would not say that, I would not blame him 100%. I would say that I was a rebel. I was born a rebel, and I'm still a rebel. But that time also, I wanted to express how much I care for this marriage, how much I care for this relationship, and I could amend it, I could add value to it, if given a chance. But if they started putting too much pressure through career, through very small line taunts, and so there was so many pressure in all the arenas, like not just as a wife, but also as a daughter-in-law, also my parents. So everything just was falling apart, and I was thinking, what is my purpose of life? Why I for what I got married. I was looking for a companionship, and I'm completely being judged every single moment, every day, for buying an iPhone for myself after marriage. How can she buy iPhone? Why shouldn't she give that money to my family? It was like that, like
Oh
small,
God.
small things. So, why can't, and I already had discussed that I am a travel, I'm a travel lover. So I
Mm.
want to travel at least once a month, with you or without you. I had made this very clear, that
Mm.
either we both go together, or maybe I can go with my girlfriends.
Right.
So one thing was very sure that you will not go with any, boyfriend, and no boys, no gents allowed. Be it with training, be it going to the gym or whatever. You do your own stuff. You will only be with girls. That was the mindset completely. And with food also, health and lifestyle, it was damn different. So I was already trying to adjust to. Because I have been always, brought in a way where I take care of my body, not just
Mm-hmm.
aesthetically but mentally and emotionally also. And there was no such platform after my marriage where I could discuss this openly, that you should not eat too much of junk, let me cook for you, this is also love which I'm serving you. But there was so many things like health, lifestyle, emotional compatibility, sexual compatibility. It was so much of violence by the end of the marriage when I decided to quit, and step back, and I
So
said no.
that actually brings me to the question is what pushed you over the edge? Like what happened, or when was that point when you got to it? Or did
So
something
I
happen when you were just like, okay, enough is enough now?
so
And what gave you the courage
yeah,
to really end it?
yeah. So I was see, abuse is not just physical, it's also emotional abuse. So I was emotionally abused by my in-laws, by my ex-husband, and I could not express that because I was still not very open about it, that this is also kind of abuse I'm going through. And that led to physical abuse. Physical abuse started happening when I got to know about his marital affair. So that was there, and I said that one thing which I can't stand is a disloyalty. So one thing has to be not there in our marriage to be able to fix things. Either we fix things or we let it go. Let's decide one thing. And it had been 1 year of marriage. We never went out together ever, for any trip or something which could make us bring together. And there was a lot of interference from my in-laws, and my parents have always made uh, you know uh, have have always let me be very carefree, like they
Hmm.
have let me very take decisions with my freedom. So that's why they didn't have much say for me that time. And they were like, you take decisions as an adult. So I was all alone on my own. And a time came where he threw liquids on me, liquids as in lassi and all, while talking, or dhakel diya, just push me away, or just ek laat maar diya. And these all things started happening. He started drinking and coming home, and he just said that, you don't love me, I know you don't care for my family, me, and I'm gonna go wherever I want to go with whomever I want to go. So this thing started happening a lot. Initially, I would say I still regret that decision, that I put up with that. I have been always a girl who has never put up with any violence, especially physical violence. But in my marriage, I admit that I have gone through physical violence for 2 whole months. And when I got to know, still I was going through it, and I thought, okay, my husband is short tempered. Okay, he it will take time for
So you're
me to
making
blend.
excuses for him basically.
Yeah. So, and I was convincing myself that no, marriage is supposed to stay, no matter what. But then when he went disloyal, and I could, I caught him red-handed in his office, because fortunately, I would say universe led me to his office to work as a choreographer. And that's when people came up to me, and they're like, Sudipta, you are okay, you don't look mentally challenged. I'm like, what? No, I am not. And he never actually made me meet any of his colleagues or friends.
I'm sorry, did he
Because
tell people that you were mentally challenged?
yes, yes,
Oh my
that's the
god.
time where I got to know that he told that my wife is not mentally stable. And then I was like, no, now I know his intention. Till then, I believe that because of misunderstanding, and because we vibe differently, maybe misunderstanding has happened, and it's not working out. But
Yeah.
then I knew his intention. His
Yeah.
intention was never to patch everything back together.
Together. Right.
And then I completely decided to quit. I was like, I told my parents later on, and my father came that time also. They behaved very, very badly. They were not courteous enough to greet my dad. And they said that we will not give your daughter divorce. Like, either you go, if you like, either you go out from our house and all, or I will not give her divorce. Like, whatever you do, we will not give any alimony and nothing, and you just take a divorce whenever, whatever, when you bring your lawyer and all. And so that was the discussion. And my father said, let's end everything mutually. And
Mm.
since there was no intention from your end to fix things, why not give a lump, like a sum of money to, your ex-wife, and
Mhm.
just end it, just end it.
Mhm.
We are not asking for much,
Mhm.
and how will she survive in Bombay now? Like,
Yeah.
she has left
Because of you.
cities
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then it went haywire. Initially, they did not even accept the proposal of, mutual divorce and all. Then I had to fight a case, and which I never wanted. I still feel that if people are little matured enough to handle failures in their life, it was a fail, but accept it and just mutually go away,
So
let it go.
so you were physically and emotionally abused,
Yeah, completely.
and he still refused to agree to give you a divorce.
Yeah, yeah. That was, and
That's
2 months I stayed in my client's place because I was not letting me stay in peace, So much torture, so much torture. And then, of
um
course, like, not just husband, my in-laws were there. So I could not talk out freely also because,
yeah, of
elders are
course,
there.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
and my mother, my father, they were so much in tension, and because they are from very small town, they are very simple people. They don't know how to resolve such big issues of city life.
Yeah.
So they were very humble. But then my in-laws used to call my mom at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the night, saying that your daughter buys iPhone on her. From where did she get money? Your daughter goes on bike ride with guys, like random stuff, making up stuff and telling. And so my mom and dad also, because they have let me so much, free in my life, so they were like, are you doing this? I'm like, they also at one point didn't trust me. They thought that I'm too rebel. I'm a rebel. So hence maybe that's why she can't adjust to marriage life. So
So
that was my parents' thought too.
what I wanted to understand is, and I think that this is a. Firstly, I'm really sorry that you had to go through all this. And I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard this story before, but every time you tell me, it's really just heartbreaking. And I know that it's the story for so many women and men out there. I recently met a man who was physically abused, and it's in a marriage, and in that relationship, he was just so ashamed to say that his wife was the one who was beating him, because it's just like, if he would tell anyone, they'd be like, yeah, but you're a guy, why are you taking it? You know what I mean? So it was just, I can't imagine how traumatic it is. So you are definitely telling the story of many people out there, which is why I really want to ask you. There are, we can't really ignore the practical aspects of leaving a relationship in a country like India. There's so much of taboo still.
Yeah, a lot.
There's a lot
And
of taboo, actually. There's a
including
lot of
myself. I
that
also
you
I
you
also
also
went
had
through it.
it,
I
yeah, because you
chose I
internalize the conditioning.
Yeah.
Internalize the conditioning that you were fed, and it's not just an Indian problem. I've seen this happen too. I have friends all over the world. Somehow leaving a marriage is just, I don't know. There's just so much of taboo that goes
Yeah.
into it. So, and many women and men go through this in their relationships. I want to ask you, what practical advice would you give to somebody who's listening to this, who's maybe going through what you went through?
I would say try to fix things from your end, but also see to it that you're not misused or overused because of a relationship. I gave that space to be physically and emotionally
You
used.
gave the
Like,
power.
I gave the power to someone else's
Mm,
hand, be it my husband, be it my in-laws, be it my
mm,
parents to judge
mm,
me, after
mm,
marriage,
mm,
be it my friends who thought that, you are a rebel, you can't stay. Matlab, a man has to be little, like, you are dominant. Like, I was
mm-hmm,
always told that you are strong, you're dominant, Sudipta. You have
mm-hmm,
to, let your tone down a little bit. So I was always told that, and I believed that. I started believing that during my marriage, that this is not working only because I'm maybe probably I'm straightforward. And I
mm,
changed that. I changed that. I tried to change that. But then I saw that even doing things according to, the family, new family,
yeah.
trying to please them with in every arenas, be it food, be it clothing, be it the way I talk in a certain manner. Everything I tried to change, just I was experimenting with my own self, that let me be like how they want me to be. Still, it didn't work out. Still, they were not pleased. Some of the other things came up. They kept coming up, be it money, everything. Like, I remember, Sarah, that I had only one Zumba client. From there, I went till 30 within like 2, 3 months.
Mm.
So because my work was always, I was very passionate about,
Yeah.
keeping people happy and,
Yeah.
healthy. So
Yeah.
that was even not appreciated. And at that time I didn't have an Instagram account. I did all my marketing, it was word of mouth, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that
So
was
what?
not
So
being
what I
able
really
to be
like,
appreciated.
I really want for somebody who's listening to this to maybe have an insight into what went through your mind when you decided that enough was enough. Like, if what would you say to somebody if they were telling you this story? Like, if you had any advice to give from your personal opinion, what would that be?
I would say, don't let yourself down. If you, in your eyes, can't see yourself, where you want to reach, change the pattern, change the
Mm-hmm.
channel. I would say it in a simple example. If you're listening to a radio channel and you're not very happy with the song they are playing, and there is a lot of disturbance, you change the channel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah,
Just do
yeah,
that.
and you also talk about, which is what I love, and I've been training with you for what, 2 years now,
Yeah, yeah,
and what I love about you the most is that you have this emphasis on always coming back to your roots and coming back to you
yeah,
and coming
yeah,
back to your
yeah,
center and realizing who you are, where you stand.
yeah, yeah,
So I want you to speak into that. I want you to tell us about the whole mental aspect as well as, I know you do the whole physical thing, right? That's your bread and butter. That's your
yeah.
fitness is your life. But tell me about the mental aspect, about coming back to who you are and coming back to your roots.
So yes, I would always say, come back to your roots, from where you started, how you were born, and where do you see yourself. Wherever you see yourself, there is no definition of success. Wherever you see yourself at peace, wherever you are peaceful, wherever your heart is, happy, because we should take care of this heart. And that's how you come back to your roots, starting from your food, physical aspects, everything is okay, but mentally you should have faith in your own journey. If there is some, they say vipada, like they call it vipada, like if there is some big, mountain shaped problem, don't run from it, face it. So once you face it, you will be able what you're meant to do. Because I was not trying to face myself during the problems I was
So
going
that's
through.
exactly what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, how did you do it? Because that's obviously the
Yeah,
question that a lot of people are going to ask. If they hear your story,
yeah,
they'll be like, okay, how did you go from being in an abusive relationship to starting a whole fresh career, starting a new
yeah.
life, standing on your own 2 feet? How did you do it?
I always believed that I have different roles, and I can play different roles. I am a woman and I have that power, that grace to play all the roles.
Hmm.
So why would I choose not to play one big role which will make me or break me, which is being myself, being true to my own purpose.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
I knew my purpose is to serve people. I knew that I have to, make people's life better. But
Hmm.
how? First, I have to start from myself, right? From within,
Oh my God. Yes. That
Yeah,
that
I
brings me to
have
one of
to.
my most favorite quotes, right? Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, exactly. I'm feeling so emotional right now, but I can tell you this, that for sure, that I believe that I have to change myself. I will not put any blame or responsibility on anyone, because till lot of months when I started separating myself from my husband, I started blaming my husband, my ex, in-laws, my parents, my friends, my social conditioning. ऐसा हुआ इसलिए ऐसा. Then said, just stop, Sudipta. Like, look into yourself. What have you, where have you gone wrong? And the only thing, of course, there were many other factors, but the one big thing which I went wrong was putting up with violence.
Mm.
Like, one slap, one bad touch is enough to make
Mm.
you realize it's not meant to be.
Yeah, Sudhi. It's not.
So I knew that I have to change myself first. I started reading a lot of spiritual books. I started, talking to myself into the mirror. I started taking help of a
Oh
counselor.
God, you're giving me goosebumps because this is exactly, I know exactly what you're talking about. It is so important. And I'm so sorry I interrupted your thought, but it is so important. And, we keep saying self love, self love, self love, self introspection, self love. And A lot of people cringe when they're like, oh my God, please don't tell me I need more self love. But the truth of the matter is, you do. You do need to look in. You do need to know, do you recognize the person that you're looking at in the mirror? Do you really know who that person
Yeah,
is
yeah,
before you start to point fingers outside of you? I'm not saying violence is okay in any shape or form. I'm not saying it's your fault that you were, it's not your fault that you were in, in that situation with this human being who decided to be
yeah.
violent towards you. But if you choose to stay, then that's on you, right?
Yeah, that's on you then. Then you can't crib or, just keep blaming others. You have to take control of your own life. And the change has to start within you. You have to see what flaws you have and still love yourself more. Apart
Yeah.
from your job, apart from everything you do as a work, apart from your role, who are you? Apart from
Yeah.
being a daughter, a wife, who are you? First identify that thing and identify your purpose. What have you come for? Is it what you have come for, to crib and complain and just talk and do nothing, no actions? So then I decided I will study myself. This is a new chapter for me, new birth for me. That's why I have come to Bombay. That's why this
Beautiful.
marriage happened, and I will study myself. Let me study myself first. Let me, if let me forgive myself for putting up with this violence. And it took me at least 2 to 3 years,
Oh, that
Sarah.
is so powerful. That is
I
so, so powerful. You have to learn to
You
forgive
have to
yourself as well.
forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. You
completely. It
have to
takes
start
courage.
from there. Yeah.
And it
It
takes
really
courage.
does.
It's not easy. I
Yeah.
have gone, like mad doing this. Like, I know how much work you have to, and I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
But I bless myself first, that
Yeah.
thank you, Sudhi. Thank you for at least giving your, not leaving your support for yourself.
Yeah. So I really have to. I cannot end this conversation with you without and collecting everything that you've said and bringing it all together. I feel like we spoke about your power coming from within you. We spoke about forgiveness. We spoke about the fact that you need to be the change that you need to see in the world.
Yes,
But for you, I feel that right now, where you are in your life, and which is why I must touch upon this, I feel that everything is. It's this beautiful tapestry, and the thread that weaves it together is your journey with fitness and your journey with
yes,
physical well-being and emotional well-being and
yes,
nutritional well-being.
yes,
So I know you always were passionate about it, but you've now made it your business, right?
yes,
And that's
yes.
just so inspiring to me. So if you can just, because I know a lot of people out there who have this question of how to convert their purpose in life into their business, or their passion in life into their business. So how did you do it? What did you do?
I just came back to my roots. I started sleeping early.
Mm-hmm.
I started eating the right food for my body at that
Mm-hmm.
phase of time.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up on a lot of my cravings, in those days, because I knew that it's distracting me from my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that if I'm physically, like, so well-being, fitness, health starts from physical. So it's a source, is the
Mm-hmm.
first layer where we have to start from. So this body, I started treating it as a temple. I started worshipping it, like how you put flowers in the mandir, in the temple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I started feeding my body not just with food but other aspects of nutrition. Sleeping on time, waking up early,
Mm-hmm.
just being silent, absorbing into the nature's beauty in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
going out barefoot, walking. Very simple. Coming back to the roots is the it was the thing for me, and it's still the
But
thing
how
for
did
me.
you? So okay, so just did you take? So are you saying that you practiced it so much yourself that it then became who you
Yeah,
are, and then that became your business? Like how did you?
yeah,
Because I'm just trying to
yeah.
understand. Because what I want, here's what I want, right? I want someone listening to this to think that okay, I can do this. I can convert something that's, like I said, a passion or a purpose into a business. So
Hmm,
how did
hmm.
you, like, where did you get the clients? How did you put yourself out there? Did you just, what did you
Um,
do?
I actually see, I could see that in a bigger picture, my relationship didn't work because it was not holistic. We
Mm-hmm.
always were calculative. We, as in me and my partner both, I'm including
Mm-hmm.
myself into that. We
Mm-hmm.
always try to work in isolation, and a
Mm-hmm.
relationship doesn't work like that. Same way in fitness also, I started looking at things very holistically. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how it worked for me, because when I used to go for Zumba, I also used to talk about food. I also
Got
used
it.
to tell them to sleep. I also used to give them functional training. I used to make them
Got
play
it.
with balloons, you know. So
Right.
people and try to understand. He's like, no, ये Zumba instructor तो है ही, but trainer तो है ही, but ये healer भी है. Like, she's healing us. You know, she's talking in a way. She's so happy. We
Yeah.
didn't even know about her कि क्या हुआ क्या नहीं. You know,
Mm-hmm.
कैसा हुआ. And I used to go to my hometown, fly back to my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to lose a lot of time. So I had a chance where I could lose my job at a gym where I was taking Zumba, but because of the goodwill, because my students, I would say, not clients, I saw them as students.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them as my platform where I could share my knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
they, because of them, my gym instructor, he said they want you only for Zumba. So
That's
Zumba was,
amazing.
yeah, for Zumba it was not just 12 songs back to back and intermittent training. For me it was giving that 1 hour of, you know, good feeling, good energy, you know,
Yeah.
fitness, health from within. And that's how
Yeah.
it got translated. I'll tell you, I had no strategy, no planning, no organized, you know, structure. How will I
That's
grow as in
yeah.
career?
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
fallen in place for me when I have seen it in a whole form, wholesome.
I know how I was when I met you. And I know
Yeah,
how different my life is now after
yeah.
having adopted your holistic attitude
But
towards
see,
life.
it's not that I just showed you the path, but you know, treaded on that path. Same thing happened with my each student.
Mm.
You know, I didn't have so much of knowledge back then, back in you know, before 2 years, when I didn't have that knowledge of nutrition and you know, how to do joint mobility exercises. Still I like reverse diabetes in, you know, 2 3 students. So that time I knew that, my
Amazing.
god, like if I can reverse a lifestyle disease, you know, just by that time I was not focusing on food, but and now I know that now I have a backup of good content with me, like not just physical fitness but also emotional, mental, you know, well-being.
Yeah.
You know, talking about chakras, talking about 5 elements of nature, so everything got
Yeah.
so holistic and interconnected. So I
Beautiful.
feel, Sarah, that of course there is a need of planning, there's need of, I would still, like, now I'm able to plan, you know, my career better.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you feel you that get a calling, you know, you are supposed to just believe in yourself and let go completely, not calculate, you know, not be
Yeah.
calculative,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
fear. Just do
Yeah.
it, take a risk and do it.
Yeah. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want.
Not, yeah,
Yeah,
completely.
you don't exactly go into a coffee shop and say, I don't want a frappuccino, I
Yeah,
don't want a cappuccino, I don't want an espresso. You're gonna
yeah,
go in and be like, okay, I want
yeah,
an Americano, right? You're not gonna
yeah,
tell them all the things that you don't want. But
yeah, yeah.
before I let you go, I must say, I must ask rather, if I know this is going to be very difficult for you because you always have many, many tips to give people and you can't stop at just one, but I'm going to give you three. So, three easy ways to immediately make your lifestyle more holistic. Three easy ways for everybody listening.
Okay, first is respect to mother nature. This there We have come from there, we have originated from there.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you start giving respect to mother nature, your health will become good. You
Okay.
know, this is a very big topic, very big, you know, we can cover a lot just inside that. But when I say nature, it doesn't just mean clothes or food, or, you know, it means everything around you, your ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know, you are being supported by someone, you have to support that, you know, someone. It can
I
be
love that.
people.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So,
So
so
living
respect for
in,
Mother Nature.
yeah, living in harmony with nature.
Lovely.
Okay, second,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. I did a shoot last year, you have appreciated it the most, so I'm so happy. So Navras, 9 emotions, and
Yeah.
maybe there are even more sub emotions of that.
Yeah.
Always respect the emotions, be it, don't judge any emotions, especially for women out there. I would say, even if you're feeling anger,
Yeah.
let it out. You're feeling
Yeah.
jealous, it is a valid emotion, live it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
all emotions are valid, you know, and
Wonderful.
that's the best way to be healthy. If you accept, you know, the phase you are in, and
Yeah.
then you will grow. You know,
Okay.
you can't be
Love it.
happy all the time, same way you can't be
Nope.
sad all the time.
Nope. Love it. Love it.
Same,
Okay. So
yeah.
respect Mother
So
Nature, respect all your
all your
emotions. What else?
emotions, live it. And
Live and respect it. Lastly,
yeah, third, appreciate, appreciate,
appreciate.
appreciate, appreciate. you know
Gratitude and
gratitude.
appreciation.
Yes,
Yeah,
appreciate. No
gratitude. Yeah,
matter what, no matter what, don't compare your journey with anyone. Even a small courage to come out of a small hometown to a big city is courage. That doesn't mean who is staying in a small hometown is not courage. Even being a housewife is courageous,
yeah,
even I was courageous when I was putting up with violence. That
yeah,
also was courage.
yeah,
So I needed to appreciate it. Now I understand it so much. Like, you are alive, you appreciate. you know
yeah,
just you're mistaken, you are a human, you will falter, you will make
yeah.
so much of mistakes, bad decisions. Appreciate. That only will lead you to good decisions. So
Appreciate,
appreciation.
accept, show gratitude.
Show
Great.
gratitude. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough. I know we could go on chatting forever,
Yeah.
but we'll save that for season two.
Yes.
But thank you for your time. And I'm sure this has been really, really helpful to everybody listening. And I really hope that it gives someone the courage to step out of an abusive relationship. So
Yes.
thank you, Sudhi.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm so happy that I got to share this with you, first of all. You're so close to me. And through you, I have been able to reach out to so many people. I hope that this helps them, because even I look up for a lot of inspiring stories. I hope that I can at least inspire at least one woman or even a man out there to
Yeah,
not put up with abuse, any kind
yeah,
of abuse.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So thank you
And
for
don't
having
and
me.
please don't abuse yourself as well. That was such a powerful conversation with holistic fitness coach Sudipta Mondal. I am so amazed and proud of this woman. With her profound story and words, she inspired me to maintain one of the most important relationships we will always have throughout our lives, the relationship with ourselves. How tapping into our own reserves of strength can tide us over the most trying times. The relationship with myself also includes the bond I share with my physical self. How keeping my lifestyle holistic yet simple and going back to my roots is the path to a healthy me. To find out where you can follow Sudipta and her work, head on over to the show notes. And for more feel good vibes, head to Figoco, that's FEGOCO, on Instagram.